Which oil is among the top tiers in the world of oils? Olive oil, right? Well, it's obvious that it comes from those weird, tiny looking fruits called olives. It's Europe and West Asia's prized possession, and have been revered in the entire region for centuries. Yet there's so little we know when it comes to its history and its properties. Welcome. You're listening to TALRadio powered by Touch a Life Foundation, and this is Foodology. I'm radio host Devansh, and on this show, I talk about the enormous world of a little word called food. Today, this species is cultivated in all countries of the Mediterranean, as well as in Australia, New Zealand, North and South America, and South Africa. Other than grapes, this is the only food of Europe which has much historical significance. They have completely revolutionized the world in a way which no one stresses enough upon. Imagine a world without olives. Not really. Italian cuisine boasts to be one of the best in the world, and a major factor contributing to that, yes, you guessed it right, it's olives and olive oil. The versatile olive fruit can be eaten as an appetizer, either on its own or stuffed, or it can be used as a cooking ingredient, and it is a staple of Mediterranean cuisine. Did you know that when martini earned its popularity in the 19th century, it wasn't garnished with olives or lemon twists, but it was garnished with cherries? Cherries were a particularly popular choice for a lot of drinks back in those times. However, a new trend of savory garnishes emerged in the 1880s, and bartenders were quick to embrace the olive. And you may ask why? It's because the flavor highlights the aromatics in the gin, as well as complementing and balancing the martini's intensity. Olives, olive oil, and the olive branch have maintained their special, even sacred symbolic meaning throughout the centuries. The leafy branch of the tree has been used as a sign of virginity and purity at weddings, a symbol of peace, a sign of power to the crown, victors of bloody wars, and as a sign of wisdom. This symbolism is as important and present today as ever. Even the United Nations flag features two stylized olive branches wrapped around a world map, a sign of peace for all people. And olive oil, long considered sacred, continues to be used in many religious ceremonies. There are hundreds of olive species, and these fruits and their oil form an integral part of the Mediterranean diet, which helps people to prevent disease and live longer. Did you know that for thousands of years olives were grown primarily for lamp oil, with very little regard for culinary flavor? The ancient Greeks smeared olive oil on their bodies and hair as a matter of grooming and good health. Olive oil was used by kings and athletes alike in ancient Greece, and it was also burnt in sacred lamps of temples and was the eternal flame of the original Olympic Games. Victors in these games were crowned with olive leaves. The Greek mythology tells us that olive trees came to be as a result of a contest between the two gods, Athena and Poseidon, to see that who would be the protector of the new city built in Greece. The gods would bestow on citizens their most divine and precious gift. So they held a contest. Poseidon, on one hand, struck a rock and produced salty water that reflected his sea power. And on the other hand, Athena struck a rock to produce the olive tree, which promised fruitfulness and peace. The citizens of this Greek city chose Athena's gift, and hence the city was named after her. This legend is still alive, And it is said that all olive trees in Athens have descended from that first olive tree given by goddess Athena. The ancient Egyptians believed that goddess Isis taught mankind how to cultivate and make use of the olive tree. This is evident as olive oil containers have been found in countless ruins in Egypt, including the excavation of the pyramids. The true and actual origins of olives are quite conflicted, although it is speculated that they first appeared in Syria, Lebanon, or possibly Jordan. One thing is well known, that people began cultivating the olive tree about 7,000 years ago, because olive pits have been discovered in ancient tombs. In today's world, we can't imagine going a day without taking a shower. And to top it all off, there's plethora of soaps, bubble baths, shower gels with amazing scents that you can choose from. Have you ever wondered what people used before the invention of soap and related products? Yes, you got it right. Olive oil was used in personal hygiene. As I mentioned earlier, Greeks smeared themselves with olive oil, and they used to scrape it off with a curved instrument called the strigil. This would carry off any kind of dirt and sweat from their bodies. And after that, they went off to public baths and steamed themselves. In Islam, Prophet Muhammad said that every kind of olive oil is good for you. Legend says that Prophet was so devoted to the oil that his very shawl was soaked in it. Olive trees can live for centuries, even millennia. Those ancient trees that I mentioned, their trunks split over centuries, but they still produce a harvest of fruit every year. And some of them are known in France, Italy, and Lebanon. The olive tree and its abundance was introduced to the New World in South America by the Spanish explorers at the beginning of the 1500s. The olive trees thrive in warm subtropical zones, especially in sea air and rocky soil. The harvesting process plays a key role in determining the olive's ultimate flavor and quality. To save money, some producers use sticks or machines to shake up the ripe fruit from the tree, or leave the olives on the trees until they are so ripe that they fall on the ground without any external help. One thing to note is that olive trees grows very slowly, and they require meticulous cultivation. In exchange for that intensive investment, their longevity rewards many generations. The olive tree is now used for oil and canned fruit production, with minor usage for the wood for handcrafts. The leaves are also used in medicine as a herbal tea due to their high phenolic compound content. The olive fruit is enjoyed as a part of many cuisines worldwide, primarily the Mediterranean regions. Long story short, olives are used mainly for oil as well as table olives. Olive oil is a liquid fat which is obtained from olives, produced by pressing whole olives and extracting their oil. It is commonly used in cooking, for frying foods, as a salad dressing, and it is also used in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and soaps. It also has some additional uses in some religions. Spain accounts for almost half of the global olive oil production. Table olives, on the other hand, are olives which are intended to be consumed as food, rather than being used for oil production. Fresh olives are very sharp and bitter in flavor, and eating them straight out of the tree could be the worst idea ever. There are several different processing methods which can make olives more palatable. These processes remove the bitter taste from the fresh olive, which is mainly caused by oleuropein. Olives can be oil cured, in which olives are soaked in oil for several months. This can remove their bitterness. They're also cured in water where they're rinsed and soaked in water over many months. Then there comes brine curing and dry curing. There are so many factors that can affect the composition of table olives and can affect the amount of phenolics that are found in the resultant cured fruit. In general, the processing methods that are applied to make table olives palatable reduces the level of biophenols available in the olives. In its most basic form, most of us have seen only green and black olives. Well, are they any different? Or are they grown on different trees? The answer to both the questions is no. It's just like white pepper and black pepper. They come from the same plant. The only difference is the degree of ripeness and the processing. The color of an olive is an indication of its ripeness. Green olives ripen to become black olives. They transform from green to light brown to vibrant red and purple to the deepest, darkest black. In general, if I say, the darker the olive, the riper it was when it was plucked from the tree. Green olives are usually picked at the start of the harvest season in September and October in the northern hemisphere. They have a firm texture and a lovely nutty flavor. The black olives, on the other hand, are picked in November and December, sometimes even as late as January, and they're softer, richer, and meatier. In fact, there's hundreds, perhaps thousands, of olive varieties all over the world. However, only about 150 are regularly cultivated for eating and making oil. Different olive varieties taste different due to many obvious factors, including the soil, weather conditions, when they were harvested, the polyphenol content, and more. Let's talk about 9 olives. Olive connoisseurs prize this tender, slightly bitter, and lightly wrinkled black olive, which are grown in and around the city of Nyon, France. Though they can be hard to find and a little pricey, their juicy, soft flesh and lightly sweet and fruity flavor make them worth the hunt. Then there comes the Kalamata Olives. These are a type of olives which are named after the city of Kalamata in Greece, where they were first grown. It is the king of Greek table olives. Beloved and popular Kalamatas are deep purple with a tight, snappy, shiny skin and a pretty almond shape. They're typically preserved in red wine vinegar, red wine, or olive oil for distinct, rich, smoky, fruity flavor. The Nisswa Olives. It is an intense black olive with a pleasantly bitter and nutty flavor with notes of almonds and hazelnuts. The olives are left to ripen on the tree until they're a dark, purplish brown, almost black color, and then they're cured for several months in a liquid of water, salt, and other seasoning and herbs. Because they originate near the sea, Nisswa olives are often paired with seafood, as they are in the famous salad of the same name that combines tuna, cooked potatoes, green beans, hard-boiled eggs, and Nisswa olives. These olives are small with a low flesh-to-pit ratio. Next, I want to talk about Pichelen olives. Like the Nisswa olives, Pichelen is another famous French olive with a low crop yield. Because of this, they are mostly sold and eaten domestically. The Pichelen is a crisp, firm green olive with a briny, mild flavor and fruity and floral notes. They are used in salads, garnishes, martinis, and main courses. Free radicals cause plastic to deteriorate, paint to fade, and works of art to degrade. In humans, these free radicals, they contribute to aging and diseases like stroke, cancer, and heart attacks. I clearly remember mentioning free radicals in so many previous episodes. And I'll say it again, that free radicals are molecules within your body with unpaired electrons. They find other electrons and they are very reactive and damaging to the surrounding good molecules, if I have to put it in a layman's language. Olives are an antioxidant-rich food. That means that every time you eat olives, you're sending an army of these good guy neutralizers into your system to help those bad guys chill out. Managing these free radicals through the intake of antioxidant-rich foods is a key factor in maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and olives are a very delicious way to do that. The predominant fatty acids in olive oil is monosaturated fat called oleic acid, making up 73% of the total oil content. The remaining fat content, 15% of the fat in olives is saturated fat. 11% is polyunsaturated omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Long story short, the monounsaturated fat found in olive is the same good fat you find in nuts and avocados. This fat in your diet can help to increase the good cholesterol. Eating a healthy dose of olives can keep your skin soft and rejuvenated, since they contain antioxidants, obviously, vitamin E and vitamin A. Vitamin E can prevent the formation of these free radicals which cause skin diseases and can keep the skin moisturized. It also protects the skin from the harmful UV rays and reduce the signs of aging. Vitamin A, on the other hand, balances skin pH level, which is essential for healthy, supple and younger looking skin. 1 cup of black olives contains 10% of your daily recommended allowance of vitamin A. This vitamin A is also converted into retinal forms, which is crucial for healthy eyes. It enables the eye to better distinguish between light and dark, thereby they improve night vision. Olives also contain anti-inflammatory compounds, which prevents the formation of inflammatory diseases. And they also prevent many forms of cancer and arthritis in the body. Olives are so small, oval fruits with a hard, inedible stone that are traditionally grown across the Mediterranean but also in California. They come in varying shades of green and black, depending on when they are picked. A dietary staple for many of the world's healthiest populations, olives are considered a good choice for the majority of people. Pressed into cooking oil or eaten cured as whole. These little fruits are building a reputation as excellent health food, and we can all savor them because of their incredible taste and versatility. Thank you so much for sticking around with me on this episode of Foodology. I had an incredible time talking to you. This is radio host Devansh, signing off. Hope you have a beautiful and a magical day ahead. See you soon.